That was General James Mattis. He's, of course, our defense secretary, answering about the story we started the daily briefing with, which was with Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon and the 4 troops, the Green Berets, that were killed in action on October 4th in that terrible raid with ISIS in Niger. I am joined by Guy Benson, Fox News contributor and political editor at townhall.com, and Bernard Whitman, former Bill Clinton pollster and CEO of Whitman Insight Strategies. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. I'll ask you to react to that breaking news because we just found that we just got that tape in. I think what the general was trying to do, Guy, was to remind everybody that we are in a global war on terror. We are there for a reason, and he stressed that he always wants to ask the question of himself before he says yes. Does this mission matter to the security of the American people? And in this case, he said absolutely yes. Your thoughts?
Right, because it's combating ISIS, and these were not combat troops necessarily, but you never know what terrorists are up to, what they might be plotting, and clearly Americans were targeted and killed in Niger, which is obviously just tragic and heartbreaking. Another thing that struck me, Dana, and stuck out to me listening to that there from Secretary Mattis was his stressing to the press that there will be answers, there needs to be a full accounting and explanation of what happened, how it happened, why it happened, but he was not going to prematurely go out there and give information that was speculatory at this point. And, you know, some people might sense a dig, perhaps at the White House, by saying, here at the Defense Department, we don't give information until we know that it's accurate. Whether that was his intent or not, I think it's the right approach to say the American people deserve answers on this. We're going to give it to them, and they're going to get those answers when we know the truth.
Yeah, he certainly does help sort of calm the situation down, as we all would love to find out the answers, but we don't need to get ahead of ourselves. Bernard, your thoughts?
You know, I was struck, absolutely, Dana, by the contrast in tone, in approach, in demeanor of the defense secretary, who clearly is a grown-up, and the president, who is not. This president does never misses a beat to shoot from the hip, to answer things before he knows all the facts.
But in this particular case, how did he? But I just asked you, like, you're saying that he politicized. For example, when? I mean, I've watched his comments all week. What was the specific thing that he exaggerated?
He politicized the situation with calling the widow of Johnson by saying, by taking that opportunity to say he was the only president to call those killed in action. Why did he bring that up? Why did he pick a fight with the mother of a Gold Star?
I don't think he picked the fight. I think you have a good point in that he brought it up initially. But look, you have a point. He opened the door to these questions and this criticism. I think that it's wrong. I don't think they need to call everybody. But Guy, it was not President Trump who actually then politicized the call to the widow.
Please, Dana, let me finish.
The Democratic congressman.
The defense secretary was calm, cool, and collected. Trump is a narcissist that can't help but putting all the attention on himself. That's what he does. The secretary put the attention on the troops and the mission.
Bernard,
Trump put the attention on himself.
We've got a minute left, and I want to let Guy Benson respond to you.
Here's the thing. So I agree with you, Bernard, that the president initially slandering President Obama and saying other presidents haven't called the families when that wasn't true. He walked it back when he was pressured. That was bad. It was a dumb thing to do. But I don't understand. You were asked for your response to Secretary Mattis addressing 4 dead Americans, and you immediately answered by pivoting to dumping on the president and bashing Trump.
I contrasted his approach, which was calm, cool, collected, and reassuring, to Trump.
Bernard.
No, Trump is the commander-in-chief of the United States. He should be the one who is leading the charge, calming fears, reassuring Americans, and voicing support for troops. And instead, we get that only from the defense secretary, which is outrageous.
I just don't think every single issue is always about Donald Trump.
Well, he is the president. He is setting the tone for the nation. He is in charge of the military.
Okay, but it does. Let's all just try to remember that we should, regardless of the politics of it all, there are 4 Green Berets who were killed in action. Their families deserve our support, and that's where our focus and attention should be. And the Pentagon is going to do a full investigation. We'll hopefully get a lot more information before anybody else speculates on this. I'm going to ask you to stay for just another moment or so, because I want to ask you about the budget and tax reform. The president's saying he's not sure he has the votes. The Republicans actually today, Senator Toomey on this show said he thinks that they do have the votes for the budget, in which case they think they have the votes for tax reform, or at least the path to it. But Guy, I noticed that you wrote that you wouldn't be shocked if they blow it. Why is that?
Well, because of the Republican Party, Dana. Blowing it is like part of the platform, it seems, especially these days. So I think there's 2 separate questions here. Do they have the votes to pass the budget, which is a prerequisite to getting to tax reform through reconciliation? I think that question, the answer is probably yes. Susan Collins is a yes. John McCain is a yes. Those were infamous no votes on health care and repealing Obamacare. But when you get into the reconciliation package and the details have to be hammered out for a tax reform package, I would not say with confidence that Republicans have 50+1 votes yet. I do hope that they get there. I think there's reason for optimism, but it's complicated.
Okay, so Bernard, I've got a hard break in 25 seconds. Do you think any Democrats will vote for the budget or for tax reform?
No, and the real question not is will it pass, it's should it pass. 80% of these tax cuts go to the wealthy, and people say, oh, the wealthy pay the most tax. After tax income will go up 8.5% for the wealthy, 1.2% for the bottom 95%.
Senator Toomey said it's not written yet.
That does not sound like a middle-class tax cut to me.
We'll have you back for more debate, gentlemen. Thank you so much. A dangerous warning about North Korea next.